The JSE All Share Index is flat along with the local currency after what seemed like a rebound in the previous session. Roy Mutooni, analyst at Absa Asset Management, joins us now to talk about these latest market developments. Roy, good to have you on Daytime Update. Take us through first how the local index is faring in afternoon trade.
Hi, thanks for having me. So the index is actually down. It's down like 3 or 4%. There's been a sell-off across everything, which is just a continuation of the trend that you saw both yesterday, the day before, and also in global markets. I think the sell-off just continues. There's still uncertainty around how high global interest rates have to go, and for so long as global interest rates are going up, I think you're just going to see markets continue to sell off this way until you see really attractive value. And clearly market participants don't think it's been reached yet.
Mm-hmm. And Stats SA has published the latest mining data print. Mining was widely expected to register quite well. Well, another fall, in fact, as far as the difficulties with rail transport and electricity supply. We've just been talking about load shedding stage 2 coming back in the evening peak now. Was it as disappointing as expected?
Well, I think we have to distinguish between sales and volume of production. So volume of production would be impacted by the stuff that you're saying, and that was down. It was down about 10%, and they even revised the previous number down about another 8%, give or take. But I think what's really supported them is, from the sales side, is that commodity prices have been quite high. And so from a sales perspective, it was as positive as expected. So the only commodities that actually grew in terms of production are coal and diamonds. Everything else went backwards. But those two specifically, their prices were also up quite considerably. So in aggregate, from a sales perspective, it looks good. But I think what concerns you and I is more about production, which is impacted by the whole problems that we know very well about load shedding and also the use of the freight and everything around that supply chain.
And there was some information coming out of Paper and Packaging Group, SAPI. They've published results for the period ending in March 22. That was just before the floods. What are the numbers looking like, and do we know yet at this stage if the floods have had any impact at all on operations?
So the numbers actually look quite positive. I think they came in ahead of expectations. The EBITDA, which is a measure of operating profit, was up about 40%. They reduced their net debt, which is actually a good thing. From the perspective of the floods, not really. All they say is that in the third quarter they're going to have a charge of about 28 million. Which accommodates everything that happened around then, but they haven't been able to quantify them entirely. So yes, I think we have to wait another quarter to fully understand the impact on the mills. But the mills are up and running now, which is a good thing.
And internationally, Google and Amazon are said to be bidding for IPL media rights. What would that mean? How significant would it be?
So Tambakile, the most interesting thing about this deal is that, did you know that the IPL is the third largest event there is in the world, just behind the English Premier League and the National Football League. So this one attracts about 600 million viewers during the time that it runs. So it is a massive event. It gives a solid audience to whoever manages to pay the 5 or 6 billion that the organizers are asking for. It's understandable that giants of this level would want to get the eyeballs in a place like India, which is completely cricket mad, which will be focused and will increase their brand awareness in that area. So yeah, very valuable. Interesting to see the broad interest, and it will be interesting to see just how much it goes. I think even SuperSport did make an application to be part of that process.
Did you bid, Roy?
Let me check my pocket, see what I have left.
Roy Mutooni, good to have your time. Roy is an analyst at Absa Asset Management, taking us through the markets this hour.